Afternoon, everybody. A plane decided to fly over just as I hit 5. So there you have it. And I can't see my phone right out here. It's so beautiful outside, though. I had to come outside for today's Conscious Coffee because it is just beautiful. And I've been inside almost all day. Did structural integration work for my knee and for my shoulder today, and just was thinking about some of the conversations and everything. And I see that somebody's popping on. Hey, Addison. Hey, Ron. But today, a lot of the conversation that I've been blessed with was around this thing called mirroring and how we mirror each other. And I was like, that's a good topic. I haven't written yet. I haven't done my Conscious Coffee yet. This is a great topic. And, I see this a lot. I mean, I recognize it in my own life. And the other day I wrote this article on open relationship. And the beautiful thing about open relationship being that we get to meet ourselves in so many different other people, like when we come in, it's not about the sex, it's about the meeting of the aspects of self. And this is where we mirror each other. We do call into our life different pieces of ourself to be shown to us in that we meet, not just in intimate relationships, but in our friendships, with our children, with people at work, and yes, most definitely with our lovers, with our significant others, those partners. Stand, we're still meeting a piece of ourselves in that, right? So this mirroring thing, it's absolutely breathtaking experience. We can learn about ourselves. We can learn how, the things that we absolutely love about ourselves. We can learn about the things that we don't love about ourselves. The thing that we have to really desire is to see that everybody that we come in contact with, and especially those intimate parts, they really are mirrors of us. This is where we most certainly, we tend to think that somebody is doing something. We put that on them, and we're like, hey, you said this, or you're doing that because of this, or you think this way, or if I say this, then you're going to act this way, or you're going to say that. And what we're doing is not realizing that what we're nightmaring about, as I like to say, chances are has nothing, it has everything to do with us. It's our fears, it's our concerns, and in the reverse, it can be our desires, it can be our hunger that we're witnessing, it can be our, but we're allowing it to be seen. What is coming up from us, we see it through another. We're really, really good at pulling things out of each other. We're really good at meeting each other in our wounds, and in the wound being not just a trauma wound, but the wound, it can be, it can be fear, it can be worry, it can be judgment, it can be self-criticism, it can be, body image issues. It doesn't, jealousies and all those things, right? All of that, when we see this in another person, we have to slow down and realize, where is this actually erupting inside myself? Why is this coming to me like this? I was actually talking to, and they were telling me about, um, I'm trying to say this without calling anybody out. Hey, Keisha. It was all about picking up speed, and this couple I'm working with, the couples I'm working with, and the story is actually the same couples, and one partner is moving so much faster to have happen than the other partner, and the other partner is kind of tip that's moving fast, as though the other partner is toe in the water of change and going, I don't know if I want this or not. I don't know. And because they're out of the ballpark already. They're gone. And they're like, come on. And months, since they got. So they're like, when are you going to catch up to me? When are you going to catch up to me? Come on, this has to, you've got to get on board with this. And then the partner who's going slow makes some changes and says, okay, I'm going to support you on this. I'm going to help you here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And overnight, you can't go from here to here overnight. They're getting irritated over, why aren't you up here with me? Why aren't you at the head of the train with me? Why aren't you helping me drive this bus? Down. Wait, you're this person. You're this person. You can't be that person overnight. No, I won't allow you to change. Do you see how that is a mirroring of exactly the same thing? It's exactly the same thing. This happens in so many different ways. So many different ways. My experience of like long bedroom, even, it can get very, very, like, sometimes asked how I have been so disconnected in my sex, bodied at all, stuck in my head, stuck in worry, really not one of session in that form of intimacy at all. And then I find myself going, well, my partner's awfully disconnected. He obviously doesn't want to be here either. Like, he's not present. His head's not in the game. He's not really here. He's probably thinking about long, it's empty sex. It feels very friction based. There's no emotion to it. It's just leaving this negative charge, leaving this negative vibe. The realization, mirroring each other, we are pulling that in that moment. Set the stress, the worry, the disconnect, trying to embody ourselves through our partners, because we think, oh, if I have sex, then I'm going to feel. Well, we can't feel if we're not actually in the body, if we're not really present in the moment with our partner, right? And if two people come together and they collide in that moment of intimacy, then you have sex going on, right? You can have extra empty conversation going on. If one partner's just standing there, just letting the other person vent, but they're not being present, then conversation. But if one person is just venting just for the hell of it, and the other person is so used to their venting for the hell of it that they're really not getting anywhere, now you have two people that are just empty in their conversation. There's not really a conversation going on. There's not really communication going on. Another one, there's not really intimacy going on. Yeah, sure, there's two bodies coming together. There's some friction, but there's no intimacy. There's no vulnerability. There's no intimacy. There's no vulnerability. There's no surrender. It takes two to actually come together like that. Working with a single man, and he was telling me how frustrated he was with the feminine, and that he keeps just drawing in the same woman over and over and over again. And he was telling me and how she just was not, she wasn't present, she wasn't giving him the time of day, she wasn't this. And I was just like, well, what does your dating game look like? And I was asking, like, what is the dating game like, what's going on? And he was telling me how he really to date. He really doesn't have time to take a woman out on a sufficient date. He doesn't want to spend the time doing it. But yet he's being irritated by the woman not taking the time. Levi's home. I should show you as he tries to crawl across it. What are you doing? Are you a monkey?
Be quiet.
It wasn't working for you, babe. Teenagers, tell ya. Mirroring. We mirror each other. We mirror, realize that we mirror each other. I'm trying to present lots of different, and I want you to look at your relationships. I want you to look at your frustration. I want you to look at your irritation. I want you to look at where you're just like, I just feel disconnected in the same person. Why am I having the same conversations all the time? Why am I same feelings? Like, what is this? And I want you to look, and if you're noticing that you're getting somebody else consistently, okay, and it's not just yeah, sure, there are those few fluke little things that we come in contact with somebody and it's not really our stuff that's coming up. Hardly ever, never really. There's always a lesson in the conversation with somebody. Or it appears times you're like, what is going on? I want you to stop saying that person is doing that. That is a reflection of something that's going on inside self. That you need to deal with, that you need to heal, that you need to get right with, learn to love, take a on and just go, where is this inside myself? Years and years ago, this was a very, very tough lesson for me. Very, very tough lesson. Different things, and it wasn't until I examined my ego on this and go around and go, that why am I so by this or that? And I started to look at it of this. I get frustrated with different little things around the house, with my family, with my different stuff, and then I go, oh, actually, look here, yes, it's this, and you start to look for it inside yourself. Here's what happens. Here's the beautiful thing about the mirror. Once we start to pay attention to these reflections of self coming to us from others and through others, what we are blessed with in that healing process is that we stop. There we go. I almost got kicked off. Anyways, we stop attracting that stuff to us. Anytime you look out at the world and you see somebody that has a lot of amazing people around them, they're just joyous, they're just happy, they're just, and everybody around them is just equally so, and they're just all living this awesome life, and they're connected, and there's just this great stuff going on. Well, guess what? That's because they are all reflecting that happiness off of each other. You get a choice. Do you want to reflect happiness off of each other, or do you want to reflect pain, suffering, jealousy, rage, envy, irritation, frustration, fear? Get the whole drift here, which is a lot of what we end up doing, all that drama and trauma shit. We can bounce back those wounds back and forth between us and the people around us, or we can call in a completely different vibration of emotion and life experience by really focusing in on doing the internal work around this particular topic, and then taking that frustration and turning it to a place of gratitude, a place of happiness, a place of joy and connection, where we actually are in love with our lives. And because we are in love with our lives, we attract in the tribe of people that are also in love with their lives. Look into your world, look into yourself, do the examination work, and make your life absolutely joyous. On that note, I am so excited. I was talking to a dear friend of mine today. I was talking to him and his wife about, because they do integration work, and I was telling them about what I am launching, hopefully by tomorrow. I'm hoping, fingers crossed that I get my homework to myself done here, because I will be launching a 5-week intensive online global coaching program. So this is going to enable anybody in the world to do this. This is going to be so powerful. We are going to be learning about self-stimulation that you can do on the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve, now this is like a major nerve in our body. And with this nerve, we can basically take care of our anxiety, to deal with depression, deal with how we, process our emotions. If we can't feel in life, we don't have the sensation for life, we don't have the drive, the turn on, the passion, we don't feel the intimacy, the connection that we're looking for, a lot of the times that has to do with the vagus nerve. I'm going to be teaching embodiment practices. I'm going to be telling you all about what the vagus nerve does for the body, how it is laying in the system, what we can do at home for self-care and stimulation so that we can work through anxiety, depression, emotional blockages, emotional processing, and actually accessing that beautiful, beautiful turned on state of embodiment. So look for the details to come out on that. I'm very, very excited about that. I'm also going to be giving resources to different people all around the United States, at least. If you are one of those practitioners that does integration work, that does tantric work, that does some sort of body work that works with the vagus nerve system, so chiropractors, energy workers, all of you, which you would like to be on my resource list for the people that will be taking this class, message me for that. I'm definitely going to be creating that resource list. I would love to have everybody on there because it would be wonderful to have people all over the place that can help people take it to the next level after they learn about their own bodies, to actually be able to go out and then get that detailed work that we as practitioners understand needs to happen as well. Outside of that, look for local people. Max, the Ancient Crystal Skull, will be here at the end of this month. Awesome experience that is. I will be walking everybody through a shamanic visionary journey on the very last Saturday of the month. And that is going to be an intensive, beautiful experience, as well as there's going to be lots of one-on-one spots available for meditation, viewing, and just healing with Max. If you want to know more about that, look in the comment section for that events as well. And as always, everybody, I love you. Just live a life of joy. Focus on the joy, and the joy will come. Pay attention to your internal world. Stop pointing outward. Realize that you are a volunteer to your life. You are a volunteer to your life experience, and what you think actually creates what you feel and what you manifest. Okay? So this is your world. This is your creation. You're in charge. Make it a good one. I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow.